But I also like the layout of it with the sort of like asymmetrical pillar rotation. It's really always interesting to see how people actually play it here. And it looks like we're not going to get a gateway out.
Yeah, he actually did get charged on that. You know, the deep freeze a split second too late, and that's actually pretty big. And the death coil going to get reflected as well. Nice start there for Thugonomicsz. Has to be frustrating for Nooker. He's actually going to port. Has his Demon Soul up. He goes for the Demon Soul gateway. Nice job. The offensive ring going to be coming down here though. Blade Storm, Bloodbath, all cooldowns being popped here by Thugonomicsz. He's looking to try to get some huge pressure out. So far, not that effective though. We have the Paralyze out onto Avenger. Dannycarey into the full sheep. We have the Spearwalker's Grace pump there by Novoz, who is trying to get some pressure out. Avenger now into that end cap. We do see Nooker going to get out of there, but here comes Thugonomicsz with the heroic leap.
Yeah, and he's just sort of chasing him around all over the place at this point. It looks like he's just able to stick on him like crazy right now, just continually dealing damage as much as possible to Nooker right now. It's a little hard to tell exactly how much is going on at the moment, but it's definitely looking very, very scary. You see Dannycarey off there in the corner. He's just hiding behind the wall. He doesn't care. Yeah. He's just going to pop out.
Here comes the setup, though. There's the deep freeze onto Dannycarey. They're trying to get this damage rolling. 5 icicles are up here, you know, on Avenger, so he really does want to get that pressure going. The full sheep comes out on Dannycarey. They weren't able to spell reflector shock that. There's the orb onto Thugonomicsz, it looked like, and he was going to be death coiled as well, but not too much coming out there. There was a life cocoon, I do believe, that was popped.
Yes, there was a life cocoon and also an intervene onto Dannycarey there. Thugonomicsz is getting really, really low, but it looks like he will manage to survive. There's the Blade Storm going off again.
The pet's going to go down here, man, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Soul Link choice, is he actually still, sorry, you just lost the buff, so I can't actually check, but is he actually still running
yeah,
Soul Link?
He's still playing Soul Link, and this is more what I thought they were going to do. I mean, they did take down that Observer, but they're not really tunneling it with the Blade Storm. You know, it gets caught in that Blade Storm, it's going to get crushed pretty quick. We did see there's that disable, the imp hamstring onto Avenger from Dannycarey. He put out that blanket sounds as well. And look at Dannycarey, very low amount of it. It's mostly just because he's being so offensive. He's spamming damage and trying to kind of, you know, just really ramp up the pressure. He knows that he can just kind of stop. He can play a bit more passively, and he can really regen that mana pretty quick. But Nooker, once again, going to be soul burning out those dots. We have the orb out on Thugonomicsz. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. Dannycarey, though, going to throw down Ring of Peace offensively once again here. Avenger going to be put into that fear. It's going to be Tremor, I do believe. Avenger down so low. Going to have to ice block. Shattering throw coming out. The big NS heal going to crit from Shotky, bringing him right back to full.
That was a huge heal from Shotky right there. And Shotky's mana is so much better. It's actually the opposite of last game in terms of healer mana. Dannycarey is the one who's very low. Obviously, he's been playing very offensively, but he is getting very, very low on mana and doesn't have a ton of mana T stacks at this particular point. Shotky's totally fine.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. And Avenger, though, taking a lot of damage once again. And then we see Dannycarey down to about 40k mana, 30k. Thugonomicsz does have that root interruption buff up. I love that glyph choice, you know, against his double caster. But look at Avenger. He may just go down here. He's down about 100k. May have to use his second ice block. And he is going to have to use that last ice block as Thugonomicsz going to be coiled off. But now he's really running low on those defensives. What does he really have left here? Spearwalker's Grace used by Shotky. Ascendance popped there as well to top him back off. And I mean, you know, although they were ahead on mana, does it really matter? Dannycarey, I think he's never going to actually He's just going to maintain at low mana, so he's going to be just fine. And we do see Avenger wants to get those icicles back up, but he's having a hard time of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like Shotky is trying to play a little bit less aggressive with his healing, and the result is that Avenger's had to pop his ice block twice now. So is that really worth it? I don't particularly think so. I think Shotky should be being a little bit more proactive with his healing, making sure that he can. Now he has to.
Here's the wreck though popped by Thugonomicsz, it looks like, and yeah, the wreck storm coming out here, going to be a lot of damage onto Avenger. Avenger though, a really good temporal shield. It's going to heal almost all that damage back up. It looks like, or maybe the frame's just frozen again. I'm not sure, but he is going to try to get out of there. Here comes the orb though. Will the deep freeze come out? The orb doing some damage here to Thugonomicsz, but I'm not sure what HP he's at. He is going to get deep frozen. The sheep comes out on Dannycarey, but it's hard to tell what's going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very, very difficult to cast when you can't actually tell what's happening, it turns out. That's kind of a problem. But we're going to do the best that we can and continue to watch this particular match as it plays out. It is on the line here for LGIM. If they lose this match, they are going to the lower bracket.
Yep, and we do see that Avenger is going to be relatively low. Looks like the frames may have updated now. I'm not quite sure. But we do have Thugonomicsz charging back in there. Blade Storm almost back up here. Bloodbath, as well as his Racial going to be coming up at the same time as well there. And Avenger, you know, taking a lot of damage. He's down about 200k HP. Shotky trying to top him back off. Does throw out that NS heal. That's going to crit. Thugonomicsz going to pop the Blade Storm here. Trying to go offensive. And it's all connecting onto Avenger. The Blade Storm Bloodbath. Such a good combo there. You know, spreading out those bleeds, slowing him in place as well. The C-Smash going to be going up there too. Novoz going to be put into the sheep. They have any CC here for Dannycarey. Doesn't look like it just yet. The water elemental is going to go down. Avenger going to get charged here. 100k HP. He's got to get out of there. Will he be able to do it? He's very, very low. He needs to reconvene here with Shotky, but Shotky going to get imp hamstrung. There's that spear hand strike silence as well. The offensive ring piece comes in a second too late to deny that Spirit Link, though.
Yeah, the Spirit Link is going to help a lot there, but we have just crossed the 5-minute mark, so dampening is now active. It's going to make it very, very difficult for Shotky to continue keeping Avenger alive. There's a nice ring of Frost going down there that might be able to give him a little bit of extra time. In fact, he fires his orb directly into that Ring of Frost. Thugonomicsz taking so much damage, dropping down almost underneath 100k, but is healed back up again by Dannycarey.
Yeah, he uses the die by the sword there, that parry buff, 20% damage reduction, but not much else. And we do see the Avenger popping the temporal once again, doing a good job with that, constantly using it. We do see Dannycarey was into a sheep there, but Avenger may just go down here. He's going to get out just in time, but Shotky at 30k mana. He does have that unleash up, so he can get one big heal out, but it's going to be on a Riptide, unfortunately. Novoz is going to be feared off. Nooker trying to do what he can to slow things down here, but Avenger, he's just getting crushed right now. He's at 140k. The block comes back off cooldown. There's that pair onto Shotky. What do they have off that? Doesn't look like anything just yet, but Avenger still not topped up. Ascendance has been used here as well by Shotky, and Nooker now going to have to use his healing cooldown. So just once again, as soon as it gets the dampening, you can just see them just constantly falling behind. Dannycarey, still low in mana, but as I said, he's never actually going to He's just maintaining at low mana. As soon as he gets low, he just stops being offensive. And Avenger now, on the hypothermia, we see the trinket coming out from Thugonomicsz. AoE Spell Reflect goes out as well. So a little bit of a scary moment from them there. Life Cocoon coming out too. Maybe they can capitalize on this. They did just get 2 cooldowns, pretty major cooldowns as well. So if they could get a full sheep on Dannycarey and a deep on Thugonomicsz, maybe they can turn things around here. But they don't have much time.
Yeah, I didn't feel like that Life Cocoon was totally necessary. It looked like Thugonomicsz was starting to stabilize quite a bit, but maybe Dannycarey just felt a little bit at risk there for a moment. And it may come back to bite him, like you were saying. If they can get something awesome going here, Dannycarey actually getting about to half health. I haven't seen them do too much damage to him thus far in the match. Novo's taken some damage as well. But once again, Thugonomicsz just running around doing warrior stuff, punching people with axes, which is the best way to punch people instead.
Yeah. Yeah, we do see Shotky. It looks like he's going. No, never mind. He's not going for a drink.
There was a deep on Thugonomicsz there for just a second.
Yeah, and we do see Thugonomicsz, just trying to chase down this mage once again. It looks like he just wants to stick to him. The Bladestorm Bloodbath coming out here once again, going to be doing a lot of damage to Avenger, I would assume. But we don't really know. There's the offensive ring of peace coming out here, going to be silencing him, so he cannot blink away. Back in battle stance once again is Thugonomicsz, trying to put out as much pressure as possible here. We see the intimidating shout coming out from Thugonomicsz, the charge back onto Avenger as well. He's just chasing him down. You see gets the Tiger's Lust from Dannycarey, getting that sprint, and Avenger. What just happened?
Well, that's what happens when you can't exactly tell what's happening. But yeah, there was so much